Yang berbahagia Datuk Seri Isham Ishak, Secretary General of MITI. Yang berbahagia Datuk Kamaruzaman Johari, Chairman of MPC. Yang berusaha Encik Zahid Ismail, Acting Director General of MPC. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum and Salam Productivity, Salam Malaysia Madani. I'm honoured to present the Productivity Report 2023 with the theme Sustainable Productivity. The theme supports Malaysia's Ekonomi Madani aspirations. This includes higher competitiveness for a more robust and sustainable economic development to enable businesses to prosper and the rakyat to enjoy a better quality of life. Another key Madani target is for Malaysia to be listed in the top 12 in the World Competitiveness Ranking within the medium to longer term, as well as an increase of labour share of income to 45%. How can MITI and its agencies support these targets? Malaysia's economic growth and global competitiveness hinge on enhancing productivity, as well as focusing on highly productive economic activities in across all sectors, including industry, trade, and investments. The level of productivity, in turn, determines the level of prosperity that an economy can achieve. Paul Krugman, an esteemed economist and a distinguished professor of economics, once said, "Productivity isn't everything, but in the long run, it is almost everything." This is because with growth in productivity, an economy can derive maximum output from its resources such as raw materials, manpower, and utilities. We also know the various methods to measure productivity. But the more important question today is, how do we achieve sustainable productivity? To answer that, we must first understand that sustainable productivity is about maintaining a balance between the needs of the employee and those of the organization. It means focusing on employee engagement and well-being, not just on traditional metrics such as sales, inventory, and revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, before I elaborate further on sustainable productivity as a game changer for Malaysia's growth, let us first look at some current baseline data. Firstly, based on the World Competitiveness Ranking 2023, Malaysia ranked 27th out of 64 economies, up 5 notches compared to the previous year's position. This is a positive indication that the government's policies and interventions are on the right track. Secondly, for the year 2022, Malaysia recorded a stronger than expected productivity recovery at 5.4% with a value of 95,628 ringgit created per employee, in line with our solid GDP growth of 8.7%. This surpassed the pre-pandemic 2019 performance at 2.2% and 94,138 ringgit per employee. The improvement in Malaysia's productivity and competitiveness is welcome. Unfortunately, productivity growth in 2023 is expected to moderate at 3% amid continuous challenges in domestic and global economies. This also means that our productivity growth is not transformative enough to take the country out of the middle income trap economy sooner. More needs to be done to boost Malaysia's productivity and competitiveness and improve the economy. Under the recently launched Madani Economy Framework, one of the 7 targets to be achieved is for Malaysia to be listed in the top 12 in the World Competitiveness Ranking. Another related Ekonomi Madani target is for Malaysia to be in the top 25 of the Human Development Index, or HDI. HDI is a concept that people and their capabilities should be the ultimate criteria for assessing the development of a country, not economic growth alone. In terms of HDI, Malaysia is at 62nd position out of 191 countries in 2021 to 2022. This is good as Malaysia maintained its previous ranking. But when we dig deeper, this HDI score is unfortunately less than our pre-pandemic 2019 score. No thanks to COVID. Why should we link the HDI score to productivity? It is because HDI factors such as long and healthy life, knowledge, and a decent standard of living are crucial in enhancing sustainable productivity. In short, one way that productivity can be improved is for the public and private sectors to prioritize employees' well-being and support their decent standard of living. When this happens, it is much easier to enhance employee performance and profits, which in turn makes it easier to achieve sustainable productivity. All this means that MITI and its agencies, such as Malaysia Productivity Corporation, have a monumental task ahead of us. I am confident, however, that all of us are up to the task and committed to achieving those Madani economy targets. So the next key question is, how do we achieve sustainable productivity from the industry, investment and trade sectors perspective? Ladies and gentlemen, the upcoming new Industrial Master Plan 2030 has identified 4 key missions and key enablers that can be applied across all sectors to support the achievement of sustainable productivity. The 4 missions are increasing economic complexity, promoting technology and digital industry vibrancy, pushing for net zero, as well as ensuring economic security and inclusivity. The key enablers are financing, talent development, ensuring best-in-class investor journey, and ease of doing business, as well as taking a whole-of-nation approach on execution of measures. In advancing economic complexity, our NIP, the new investment policy, has also identified aerospace, chemicals and petrochemicals, digital economy, electrical and electronics, and pharmaceuticals as the 5 sectors that could enhance future exports of more complex products. Given the nature of these sectors, MITI strongly believes that promoting these industries can naturally boost both economic complexity and productivity. And this in turn will gradually elevate our SMEs higher in those industries' value chain, which will increase our national revenue through higher export earnings. To that end, MITI is also banking on MPC as Malaysia's focal point and strategic partner for the Institute of Management Development, or IMD, the organisation responsible for World Competitiveness Ranking, to improve Malaysia's competitiveness ranking. Guided by the principles laid down in NIMP 2030, MITI expects MPC to work not just closely, but also strategically with various stakeholders to implement various initiatives towards achieving our sustainable productivity targets. Ladies and gentlemen, I have mentioned that sustainable productivity across all sectors is the game changer for Malaysia's improved competitiveness and robust economic growth. Improvement in the economy will ensure businesses can generate more profit and the rakyat can enjoy higher salaries and wages. For MITI and its agencies, we must multiply productivity at the sources of economic growth directly under our responsibility, namely investment, industry, and net export values to help increase Malaysia's GDP. To that end, our emphasis must be on our new industrial master plan's productivity multipliers and enablers, including ease of doing business, technology adoption, and talent development. In enhancing the ease of doing business and positioning Malaysia as a foreign and domestic investors' viable gateway to Southeast Asia and Asia, the government has already started to, firstly, streamline the functions of the roles of 31 investment promotion agencies, which has a target date of January 2024. Secondly, reduce bureaucratic obstacles as well as streamline regulatory processes to bolster productivity as well as attract and retain investments in this country. In terms of enhancing the adoption of technology, automation, and digitalization among our industries, NIMP 2030 will mobilize the right level of financing and capacity building, including talent development, to tech up and tech up quickly. We want to ensure that companies, particularly SMEs, can increase their sustainable productivity score. This is a surefire way to enable them to compete in high-yield market segments, both locally and globally. Next, in terms of ensuring a skilled talent pipeline to form an industry-ready and future-ready workforce, the NIMP 2030 stakeholder management process has already involved key ministries such as higher education, and human resource. High-impact manufacturing and exports of complex products require a competent workforce. This includes ensuring that more students be enrolled in STEM subjects and for academia to ensure industry-relevant curriculums across these core subjects. This is also key for Malaysia to minimize reliance on low and semi-skilled workers. We must get this right in order to raise general wages and raise the floor, as prescribed by Ekonomi MADANI. In short, boosting Malaysia's sustainable productivity and competitiveness requires smart collaboration and cross-synergies among federal, state, and local governments, as well as the business community, academia, and civil society. Within MITI's scope of responsibilities and control, this is what must be facilitated through the execution of NIMP 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I would like to reiterate that the smooth and strategic execution of NIMP 2030 through all MITI agencies, particularly MPC, is extremely important for the country to achieve sustainable productivity. Nation building calls for nothing short of a whole-of-nation collaboration and cooperation. To that end, I hope the Productivity Report 2023, launched today, will be a useful guide to policymakers, entrepreneurs, academicians, the public, and all stakeholders on sustainable productivity. On that note, it is with great pleasure that I hereby launch the Productivity Report 2023. Thank you.